All right, let's talk about a huge shift that's happening right now in software development. Specifically, how expert Go developers are starting to work with AI, not just as a tool for autocomplete, but as a real, honest-to-goodness development partner. So, what does that actually look like? It's a question I hear all the time. But maybe, just maybe, it's the wrong question to be asking. Because the real change here isn't just about finishing your lines of code faster. It's about turning that AI into a digital colleague, a partner you can collaborate with in the actual creative process of building things.
And this really is a fundamental change in how we work. Think about it. For decades, the model was the developer manually, painstakingly crafting every single line of code. Now, we're shifting to a new collaborative way of doing things where the AI acts as a skilled partner who actually understands the context of what you're trying to do.
So you really have two different ways of operating now. On one side, you've got the traditional developer, responsible for every single keystroke. But on the other, you have the AI-assisted developer, who gets to level up. They become more of a guide or an architect, using the AI to handle a lot of the implementation details.
And this is where the difference becomes, well, real. Take something like unit testing. What used to be this manual, tedious slog of creating test files and mocks can now be almost completely automated just based on your interfaces. Or refactoring. Instead of you having to hunt through code looking for improvements, the AI can actually give you context-aware suggestions. This isn't just about going faster, it's about shifting your brain power away from typing and more towards strategy. But here's the thing. This new partnership, it only works if you can communicate clearly. And it all comes down to one really critical skill, the art of the prompt. Because the quality of the code you get out of an AI is 100% dependent on the quality of the instructions you put in.
And this quote just nails it. A great prompt isn't some vague wish. It's a micro-specification. It's a tiny, focused design doc that tells your AI partner exactly what you intend to build, making sure the output actually lines up with your goals.
And that's what we call a mindful prompt. You're not just asking for code, you are actively guiding the AI. The difference is huge. Instead of just saying, make a worker pool, you say, and use a sync.wait group to wait for all the workers to finish. That one extra detail is everything. It points the AI toward a solution that isn't just correct, but is robust and perfectly idiomatic Go.
So, how does this all play out in the real world? Let's take a look at how this AI partnership helps us tackle some of the more complex Go patterns, starting with a big one, concurrency.
So real quick, just so we're all on the same page, a worker pool is a classic Go pattern for handling a bunch of tasks at once. You have a set number of workers pulling jobs from a queue. It's a fantastic way to control how many resources you're using and process work super efficiently.
And here is that mindful prompt we were just talking about, in action. See how specific it is? We're not just asking for a worker pool. We're telling it to use a buffered channel and, critically, a sync.wait group for synchronization. This is that micro-specification we need to ensure quality.
And would you look at that? Because our prompt was so good, the AI doesn't just give us some half-baked code. It correctly implements the wait group. It knows exactly where wg.add, wg.done, and wg.wait are supposed to go. This proves it's not just pattern matching. It actually understands Go's concurrency idioms, all because we gave it the right nudge.
Okay, let's look at another core Go idea, small interfaces. The whole philosophy here is about composing systems from small, reusable parts. By defining these tiny, clear contracts, you build systems where components aren't tightly stuck together, which is an absolute superpower when it comes to testing.
For example, here's a super simple contract. We're saying that anything that can get data using an ID can be called a data source. It's clean, it has a single method, and it just defines a behavior, not a specific type of thing.
And this is where the AI becomes your new best friend. With a really simple prompt, you can just ask it to generate a mock implementation of that interface for your tests. And boom, it instantly creates a mock data source that fulfills the contract, completely taking the pain out of writing solid, testable code. So, AI is obviously great for spinning up new code, but what about improving the code we already have? Well, that brings us to the intelligent refactor, which is a key skill for taking code from just good enough to great. So let's start with a classic code smell we've all seen, and probably all written, the monolith function. Right here, we have a single function, process data, that's doing way too much. It's fetching, it's parsing, it's storing. It works, but it's a nightmare to read, test, and maintain down the line.
Okay, now watch this. The developer gives a simple, direct instruction, right, in a comment, asking the AI to refactor this beast of a function into smaller, more focused pieces. It's a high-level request based on a core software design principle.
And there you have it. The AI perfectly understands the request and breaks the function down into these distinct units, each with one single job. This is the new workflow. The human acts as the architect, identifying the design problem, and the AI acts as the tool, executing that vision in seconds.
All of this brings us to the really big picture. What does it even mean to be an expert developer in this new world? It's not just about how fast you can type code anymore. It's about blending your deep technical skills with these incredibly powerful new tools.
So what does this new role look like? Well, your focus gets to move up from worrying about semicolons to thinking about architecture. You're not just a coder anymore. You're more of an orchestrator, working in this loop of prompting, reviewing, and refining the AI's output. You have to master both the language and the tool.
And if there is one single thing to take away from all of this, please let it be this. These tools do not make your experience worthless. Absolutely not. Your deep understanding of Go's idioms and design patterns is precisely what enables you to guide the AI effectively. Your expertise isn't being replaced, it's being amplified.
Which leaves us with a pretty critical question for the future, one to really think about. As AI gets more and more capable, what becomes a developer's most valuable skill? Is it still the ability to write the code, or is it the wisdom to ask the right questions?